Good afternoon, collectors. I'd like to welcome you again to Department 56. Welcome to all new viewers and to those of you who've been with us in the past. Do you believe we're starting our third year doing these Facebook Live sessions? And I hope you find them informative. Excuse me. Please let me know if there's, oh goodness, I didn't expect to start out like that. Please let me know if there's anything as far as the subject you'd like us to talk about. And I really am fine. But sometimes you just need a little more coffee. Okay, well, first I want to thank everyone sincerely for your continued support. It's been a rough year. We really appreciate our collectors here at Department 56, and I hope some of our new introductions for 2021 will show how much we appreciate you. I also, before we get started looking at some of the new introductions, I also want to thank you for the photos that people have posted on our Facebook Live page before Christmas. I asked, please post your pictures. Let's see what your displays look like. We had hundreds of people post their displays and thousands of comments. And we're very gratified by that. And I'm sure all of you picked up a few tips, learned a few things. For the new collectors, I think it was a lot of fun. Don't be intimidated by these collectors who have these elaborate, gorgeous displays with beautiful landscaping. Maybe that's not for you. Maybe you like just a very simple display. If you saw what I did at home, mine are very simple, no backdrops. I don't even use many accessories with mine. I have started putting some trees and some extra lighting in with mine. But you know, we all have a different way of displaying and decorating, and that's just fine. But thank you for that wonderful support. We had just an awful lot of people visit our Facebook during the holidays, and that was a lot of fun to look at too. Way to support each other and get lots of good ideas. I also want to take an opportunity to thank a collector named Karen Ernst, and I believe she was from New York, and Karen allowed us to publish her poem that was called When the Village is Finished. And we published that one on Christmas Eve. And if you haven't taken the time to read Karen's lovely little tribute to our villages, you know, when the villages are all done, turn down the lights, have a cup of something interesting in your glass, in your cup, sit back, take a look at your village and enjoy it, because it is your village and it's for you. So I want to thank Karen again for that. We really appreciated that. And again, there were a lot of people who shared that poem, and I'm sure you all share the sentiment that Karen wrote about. Here is the 2021 brochure. Just got it in my hot little hands this morning. I was delighted to take a look at it. It will be probably early next week on our replacement parts page on the website. Price will be the same as last year, $5 plus shipping, and it's almost 150 pages long, so you'll want your own actual print copy of that. You can look for that and place an order for it, and Terry is really good about getting those orders out really quick. And it'll be your wish book for the year, right? The 2021 pieces are on the website now. A little earlier than we normally get them, but maybe our marketing team was just a little excited about them and really wanted to share them with you all. So don't expect them this early every year, but we're really glad that they're up there. You can see the images online. It will say what the prices are. It'll give you the sizing. You can't order yet. The website will indicate coming soon. You can add your email. There will be a spot in the description where you can add your email address if this is a piece you don't want to miss out on. It's not a pre-order. You're not including any credit card information. It also is not a reservation for the piece. It just gives you a heads up and gives you, kind of puts you at the front of the line as far as, oh, now I can order this piece. So if you forget about it and say, hey, I really wanted that piece. So it will just give you a heads up when that piece is starting to ship and that you can go ahead and get that piece ordered. So it's It's not a pre-order as far as placing an order. It's just to give you an idea of when those pieces are coming out. Okay, now let's take a little bit of a walk. Let's get rid of my coffee cup here because I think I'm done choking to death. Take a little walk through our village display, and I want to start by saying thank you to Rick Jackson, our creative director. Did all of our display updates this year. Because of COVID, we weren't able to have professional decorators come in, and Rick spent a lot of time and effort making these displays look really, really nice, and I think he had a really good time doing it, because every time I came in here, he was smiling when he was working on it. So I'm not going to be showing you everything. We're going to concentrate on the lower level. As you can see here, we have about 4 shelf levels of product, and we try to always put the new pieces at eye level here on the bottom shelf. So I'm going to show you just a few of the new ones, and we'll start with Snow Village here. And this first one is the Reindeer Run gas station. Now these are just going to be a quick look at some of these, because I am going to definitely take some time in the next few sessions to show you some of the details of some of these. I really like the accessory for this one, and I'm just going to turn it this way and show you. And when we were looking at the pieces this summer, they didn't have a name for that one yet, and I said, well, I know what I'd call it. It's a dipstick, Billy. And so that's what they called it. So I named this one. I don't get that chance very often, but I thought it was kind of cute. So the serviceman is showing Billy how to check the dipstick to see the oil level. And that's the first thing my dad taught me when I learned how to drive a car. You got to check that, and you got to check the tire pressure in the tires, the air pressure in the tires. Okay, moving on. We have this one here, and I am going to show you a little bit about this one. This is the Woodland Family Church, and here's the accessory, and the accessory is showing the pastor lighting the Advent calendar. And this is the 45th anniversary in 2021 for Snow Village. And I want to show you the bottom stamp on this one, and I did check ahead of time, so it is here. All the bottom stamps on Snow Village pieces this year will be printed in blue, which is that teal color for 45th anniversary, and it will say 45th anniversary of the original Snow Village. So I wanted to point that out to everyone. Get that in? Good. This moving and filming is new for Rebecca, so we want to make sure we do it right for you. We have a new piece in Christmas Court, and this one is Lot 60. And Lot 60 is occupied by a little old lady who loves her birds. And as you can see, she must have special seed for the cardinals, because we've got cardinals all over the place. The trailer is red, kind of a cardinal red. She's got kind of a neat little awning on the outside. There's just lots of details. And we have a lot of cardinal themed accessories that are kind of cross product for this year. A bench and a fence, and we've got a birdhouse, and we've got the little rural mailbox. So there's all kind, and even in the trees. And if you've already got some of these things, these little birds are going to be available as a separate accessory set. And they will each be on a little wire, so you could wire them to your tree, or you could stick them in the styrofoam. This happens to be a solid surface, so Rick cut them off and used a little tacky wax to put them on. But this is a neat new setting, and I think Rick did a really nice job of that. I'm really excited. We'll start over here with my favorite new piece in Christmas in the City, and this is the Woolworth Building, another skyscraper for Christmas in the City. I really love how it lights on top. This is a building that still exists in New York City. It was built in 1913 by a very famous architect named Cass Gilbert. Cass Elliot, I think, was one of the mamas and papas. Cass Gilbert. He was an architect. And Tom did a really nice job in capturing this building. And you can see the LED light in green at the top there. And again, we'll go into more detail, getting a little better look at some of these pieces as the year goes on. 3 more new pieces for Christmas in the city. We have Luke Chow's German restaurant. We have Engine 31, a new fire station. It's kind of our tribute to our first responders this year, and it is based on a real fire station in New York City. I don't believe it's being used as a fire station any longer, but the building is still there, and it's quite an attractive building. And then next door we have a really neat license piece called FAO Schwarz, which is an iconic New York City piece with the iconic clock on the outside with our iconic 5 to 6 time set on it. It's not a working clock, but I think you could change the time if you needed to on there. It looks like the hands might move a little bit. But we always like to see our clock set at 5 minutes to 6 on our FAO Schwarz building. Then we're going to move over here to Dickens Village, my favorite piece right here. And this is the Radcliffe Camera. Now, it's not a camera store. It's a round building. It was built in 1714. Was named for a man named John Radcliffe, who bequeathed a sum of money to Oxford University to build this. And camera is Latin for room or library. And if you watch any of the PBS mysteries, you'll see the Radcliffe camera in the center of Oxford, and they show it really, really often. And if you're a fan of the series Endeavour, it's in there a lot. But it's a gorgeous building, and I've known a couple of people who've actually been there, and they say it really looks a lot like the original. And these great new lampposts, I think, really do it justice. They're good, they're beefy, they're big, and it looks really good. And this is the accessory that coordinates with the Radcliffe camera. A wonderful Oxford piece, licensed this year. A couple of other pieces for Dickens Village. We have the Battersea, which is the home for abandoned animals, specifically dogs. And this is a real organization and building that has been around in London since 1860. So it's kind of one of the early forerunners of a humane society. Next door here we have a new piece called the, I want to make sure I've got it right. Oh, the Cotswold Greengrocer. And of course the greengrocer is where the townspeople would go to buy all their fresh produce. They didn't have real good refrigeration back in Dickens's time, so they would need to go frequently to get their fresh produce, and they would go to a greengrocer. And then of course you see some accessories there that will be going with it. And we'll talk a little bit more about that again later as well. Now let's go to the North Pole. I'm real excited about some of the new pieces here. Paul Lundberg did a really nice job on some of these, and as you can see here we have some more pieces for the gingerbread lane, the gingerbread cookie mill with its rotating blades on it. Next door we have Nina's Knit Mittens. Say that fast 3 times. I really like this, and of course Melinda's never satisfied with the way anything looks originally. I said, well, wouldn't that be neat if it were flocked? And Rick took one look at me and he said, no. And I said, why not? He said, the factories hate doing flocking. So I think you do see the knit pattern in the mitten a little bit better without the flocking, but I still thought flocking would have been kind of neat. And of course, when you're looking at a piece like this, you're seeing a round ball of yarn here. We're seeing some knitting needles propped up against the door. So it's just a really neat, and it's a small piece. It's got a very small footprint. Would be great in a sewing room or in a place where you worked on crafts. So that would be a neat piece for that. I'm going to skip over this one, which was out last year. And we have a new Disney themed piece, and this is Mickey's Stuffed Animals. Now this isn't where they're selling the stuffed animals. This is where they're actually making them. And you can see Mickey is kind of overseeing things, sitting on the roof, and the elves are taking some of the stuffed animals as they're finished. And you can see he's got Pluto here, and you can see there is a stuffing apparatus over here that's kind of outside and ready to go inside for all the stuffing for the animals. I think it's really a cute piece. Paul does a nice job with those. Then we're going to move over here. We've got a couple more pieces for North Pole. I guess a lot of people have asked for a pizzeria in the North Pole. Apparently the elves do like to eat pizza, as we all do. And what I really like about this one is it is an open hearth brick brick-fired oven. Really like the colors on the mosaics on the outside, and you can see the fire going on the inside. Really a neat piece, lots of detail, even a little pizza wedge sign on it. Next door, of course, we've got the Crayola Crayon Factory. They're making crayons there, and look at the neat vents that Rick put in place to kind of set this piece off. And see the animation up there, really a nice piece. Next door we've got a piece that I think Paul really liked, because I saw him working with the lighting on this one earlier this year, and I couldn't tell the difference between the different blinking lights on the tree, but when I looked carefully, he pointed it out, they were different. This is Kringle's Christmas Tree Display Gallery. Kind of reminiscent of the 1950s and 60s when a lot of our parents had those beautiful silver or aluminum Christmas trees. And we've got a really nice display window, and they're showing off their goods there. Neat piece. I think we're going to like that. So from Christmas, we're going to wander into our North Pole display. And not everything is here yet, but I did want to show you this one. We're in the swamp. This is the Haunted Swamp Shanty. You can't see it really very good from here. It's kind of tucked back in there. But Rick really spent a lot of time building this really neat swamp, and he got all of his greenery at a pet aquarium store. So just as a little tip, if you're looking for some really good swampy kind of greenery, that's a good place to go. And I think even, who is this guy? Bigfoot? Bigfoot,
Oh.
yeah. Bigfoot is wandering into
You
this
were
one.
pointing at the tree branch.
Oh,
Still.
no. No, the guy here, Bigfoot, he's wandering in. Okay. So there's also some neat accents on the swamp shanty too, including a big seagull coming down, and we've got some. This looks like this is from a shark jaws. All kinds of interesting things on that one. There's this, and if you can get in here and see, it isn't a lighted house, but it's kind of an interesting one. I am not a fan of horror movies, but there is Pennywise and the SS George from the movie It. And there he is, ready to scare the kids, I guess. The scary clown. Maybe that's why kids don't like clowns, I'm not sure. Then we're going to move down here, and this is a license piece that we've been working on for quite a while, and I like the way it turned out. Rick's display is also really nice. This is Elvira's house, and Elvira, of course, is the Mistress of the Dark. Now the accessory is sold separately, so if you don't want the house, you can just get Elvira walking her dog. I think the dog's name might be Groink or something like that.
Gronk.
Gronk? Okay. We never know what Rebecca knows about this stuff.
I look at the website a lot.
Okay. And you know, Rick used the black trees. He used our black backdrop of these glittered trees. That looks really cool. This is new also this year, these Halloween corner fencing, and I think that looks really nice here. It makes a nice little display. And the detail on this house is tremendous, just tremendous. And again, it's a fall piece, so there's fall leaves on it, no snow. And then the last piece I wanted to show you, because there's been a lot of talk on Facebook, is the Disneyland Haunted Mansion. And I hope you can get in here on this one, Rebecca, because the detail is phenomenal. This is all metal grill work, upstairs and downstairs. There's lots of detail. Again, whoops, I'm going to caught on here. Leaves rather than snow, so they've used a bag of our fallen leaves to add to this. The accessory of the 3 ghosts, that is a separate item. So if you don't want the house, you certainly can just get the accessory. And the flashing lights on this one, I think, really make the piece what it is, which doesn't show up at all on the website. Now, there was one village I didn't show you. It isn't on the bottom shelf, so I thought I would get the pieces out and show them to you separately. And that is Fort Alpine Village. And we'll come over here and we will start our detailed look at villages with the smallest village that we have, Alpine Village. And we have 2 lighted pieces and 2 coordinating accessories this year. And the first one is just a really cute little cottage, alpine cabin, probably you want to call it. And this is Opa's cabin. And Opa's goes with Oma's. Opa and Oma are grandpa and grandma, I think in German. And I think it's in more than just one language, because my in-laws, who are not German, they are Scandinavian, and they always had mugs that my sister-in-law bought for them that said Opa and Oma. So it must have been Swedish or Norwegian as well. But this is Opa's cabin, and it's got a lot of detail. Very often you'll see the antlers on the cabin, and here is one of the sleds that the dog would use, and the detail on it is just tremendous, sitting outside. And the accessory shows Grandpa, Opa, with his trusty Bernese Mountain Dog. And I like to think that this Bernese Mountain Dog's name is Nina, because that was my daughter's Bernese Mountain Dog's name. But Opa and his guide dog are getting ready probably to come over and get this sled hooked up and get it ready to go. The other piece in the series that's new this year is the clock shop. And the last few years, because the names are so hard to pronounce, we've named it the clock shop, but this says clock shop in German. And it was designed by Tom Bates to look like a cuckoo clock. So this is where they sold clocks and things like that. Again, the clock is set at our iconic 5 to 6 time. They've got the little German boy and girl in their traditional dress, ready to do the turnaround, even though these don't turn around. When the clock strikes the hour, very often they'll come out and they'll turn around and they'll go back in, and that's part of a traditional German or Swiss cuckoo clock. But lots of neat detail on there. They're not very big footprints. And then here is the accessory that goes with it, and it was called, let's see, make sure I've got the right name for it. It was called Just-in-Time Delivery, and he's bringing the wood that the clockmaker would use to make the wooden cuckoo clocks. And again, he's dressed in a traditional Tyrolean type of outfit. And the reason I wanted to show this to you in a special way is because 2021 will be the last year that the Alpine Village will be produced. I know, it's a sad, sad thing. This village was first introduced by Neiland Lund in 1986, and then taken over by his daughter a few years later, and most recently drawn by one of our in-house artists, Tom Bates. And Tom did a really nice job with it. In fact, Tom was the one that brought the idea for the Christmas markets. Now, as with our New England village, it's a small village with a smaller footprint and a smaller collector base. And that collector base, unfortunately, has been shrinking a little bit, growing a little bit smaller each year. So with the popularity of some of our other villages and, you know, some of our licensed things, we thought it was time to put a bookmark on this village. And it's not to say that when we get some really great ideas, that we'll bring out a piece or two, especially for the Christmas markets in the future, but we won't have a new piece every year for the Alpine Village. Just like we said when we retired New England Village. Why are we telling you about this now at the very beginning of the year? Well, for several reasons. One, we want the retailers to know so that they have enough product in stock so that everyone who collects Alpine Village will be able to get these last two pieces and the last two accessories to add to their collection so that everything is complete. And if you've never bought Alpine Village before, you might just want to have a few pieces to remember this village by. So it will be available all of I'm 20 years behind, all of 2021. And we hope that everyone who wants these pieces will be able to get them this year. So it's always sad when we have to put closure on a village, but it was necessary in this case because, you know, with fewer and fewer people collecting it, it just wasn't possible to keep coming up with new ideas and doing a minimum number of pieces that the factories require us to purchase each year. So we love our Alpine Village, and we're sorry to see it go. We would say auf Wiedersehen, right? So we want to hear your comments about that, and we want to know what you think of all the new pieces, and next time we will go into some detail of some of our new pieces. And we hope you all are having a very happy and safe 2021. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.